Welcome to Scrub In, a podcast powered by Bay Health. I am your host, Sarah Beebe.
And I am your co-host, Tyler Cody.
Thank you for joining us as we ask ourselves to scrub in
and talk more about our why behind the healthcare uniform. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Scrub In, Episode 7, Season 3. Hey, Sarah, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Tyler?
I'm doing good. Today we have Ben Collins, the Senior Director of the Cardiovascular Service Line at Bay Health, and we have Dr. Rob Scaffidi, Interventional Cardiologist here at Bay Health, joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy to have you.
Yep.
We always start our episode off with a quote, and our quote today is, "The heart is the household divinity which, discharging its function, nourishes, cherishes, quickens the whole body, and is indeed the foundation of life, the source of all action." And that's spoken by Will Harvey.
That was a lot. I'm
That was-
now
yeah.
looking at it. I'm like, what
Yeah.
does the heart do again?
We're going to have to break that down a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to need to know what the heart does,
Yeah.
which glad we're talking to you guys.
There you go.
He knows better than I do.
You'd
So
like
we-
to think that, wouldn't you?
Well, you're in operations, though. You
Yeah.
make sure that everything works.
Yeah, I guess you could say it's very similar to the circulatory system and make sure everything's
There you
going
go.
together and pumping things, make sure everything's pumping, keep it pumping, right?
That's
So-
right. Keep
Yeah.
it pumping.
So we want to hear about who you are. So, Dr. Scaffidi, tell us about yourself.
Well, what do you want to know?
Where are you from?
Sure.
Start from day one.
What got you here to Bay Health?
All right. So I'm originally from Baltimore.
Okay.
Born and raised there. Trained at, went to Loyola University. It's now Loyola University of Maryland. It used to be Loyola College when I went there. Went to University of Maryland for medical school, where I stayed for my residency, my cardiology fellowship, and my interventional cardiology
Oh,
fellowship.
you are Maryland all the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was there for 11 years before I came here, and then
Okay.
came here in 2006, and I've been at Bay Health ever since.
What brought you out of the state of Maryland? It sounds like you were pretty, you bled black, red, and yellow. So, what brought you here to Delaware?
Geography, actually.
Okay.
So my parents at the time lived in Harford County, Maryland,
Gotcha.
and my in-laws live in Berlin, Maryland. So Dover's about halfway in between.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well,
Nice.
thank you.
Yeah.
And Ben, tell us about you.
Well, it was a cold, dark night in 1987. No, I'm just kidding.
You sweet baby.
Yes.
1987.
So I'm originally from Pittsburgh area, born and
Okay.
raised. I won't hold Baltimore against you, Rob. So I went to nursing school straight out of high school. Ended up in the neurovascular ICU at UPMC, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, and then worked myself into the neuro interventional suite. So that's where I kind of got into operations and surgical services and stuff like that, and caught that bug. And then I decided, hey, why not go into leadership? I don't know what I was thinking. But here I am. I ended up getting a cardiovascular director job at a smaller health system east of Pittsburgh. And then about 2 months after the first wave of the pandemic, I got a call from a recruiter that said, hey, there's this place in Bay, it's called Bay Health. You know where Delaware is? I said, well, I know the state, but I've not been there. And so I got recruited here because they were looking for someone with heart and neuro experience.
Wow.
That's kind of what brought me to Bay Health, and picked the family up and moved here in November of 2020. It was quite a time. A lot of people were like, so what's Delaware like? How do you like it? I was like, I don't know. I go to work and go home. Everything's shut down.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
nothing was open.
No.
And in
yeah.
fact, in November 2020, we all shut down again.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Second
exactly.
round.
The second
Yeah.
wave. So it's been good, but really enjoyed here. Community, the people are awesome. So I think we're putting some roots down here, and really love Bay Health, and here I am.
That's awesome.
Great.
And your spouse is also a Bay Health person as well.
She
So
is.
she picked up and got an NP job here?
Well, so actually, where she worked before, it was a place called Matrix Medical Network. It's preventative care. It's a bunch of NPs that contract with insurance companies.
Okay.
So they actually have a nationwide footprint, and so she was able to pick up and move at that time. And
Oh,
then
nice. Okay.
after the pandemic started to slow down, she missed patient care. She did that for about 10 years, and then she missed patient care and started out with urology here at Sussex with Dr. Patak and then Dr. Bologna. and now she is with oncology up at Kent. So she has found her love and all of that patient population, and we are here, and we love it.
And now you're
Great.
Delawareans.
We are Delawareans, yes. I still catch myself when people are like, where are you from? I'm like, Dover. I'm from Dover, Delaware now, so
Yeah.
catch myself.
My brother did the opposite. He
Yeah.
was born and raised here, and now he's in Pittsburgh.
Greatest city on
Oh,
earth.
wow.
Greatest city on earth.
He still wears his Eagles gear, though.
Oh,
like,
that's unfortunate.
his wife bleeds black and yellow, and but he flies with those Eagles every Sunday. So
that goes over well.
And she took him away from Delaware to Pittsburgh, but they seem very happy there. So,
I love it.
But awesome.
Yeah.
It's exciting to hear how you guys got here.
Mhm.
I'm always curious because being just only from Delaware, both of us,
right.
you kind of assume that everybody started here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's true. Get it.
It's a very small world.
In
And
fact, it's quite the opposite. Everybody
yeah. So-
migrates here at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we always ask everybody, why do you do what you do? How'd you get here? What is your why? And so I'm kind of curious. I mean, Ben, you told us a little bit about your trajectory, but why do you do what you do?
So really, after my first 10 years, my career was in academic medicine, and when I took over that job of overseeing cath and EP lab at that smaller health system, I really fell in love with community medicine and really understanding you don't have to go to the big city to have exceptional care.
Absolutely.
So one of my goals there was always say everything but a heart transplant. You can get anything in this community hospital except a heart transplant, and the person that intervenes on you is the person you're going to see in the office. They're going to follow you up. Not that we don't need academic centers and training people, but
Right.
having those attendings that work on you and that's your actual doctor is really big for me, and I'm really passionate about that. So when I came here, that's one of the things that really drew me here, is that there was an even bigger need for bringing those high-end academic medicine procedures to the community. Big testament to Rob and the whole team beforehand. They were doing things way more progressively than our system was, or anywhere in the Pittsburgh area. They were sending people home same day. Post heart stent, they were sending people electrophysiology, pacemaker, defibrillators same day. That was unheard of, and we were just starting to do that, and we were just starting a TAVR program, and they adopted TAVR, which is the
Transcatheter aortic valve.
Thank you very
replacement.
much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Hey, tag team.
Yeah.
But they were doing that since 2016, and I came. That was 4 years later, and we were just starting that there. So
Wow.
I was just like, these guys are already progressive, and we could just really rock it out here. So that's what I'm passionate about. It's what wakes me up in the morning, is just making sure that we're giving that awesome care, and the next step is now letting everyone know. Because I think that's our next step here, and we're looking forward to a little something coming. I'm not going to give all that up, but so that's really my why, and I really believe and truly believe that we can get and give excellent care, and we have a lot of accreditations that has shown that. We've been a heart care center of excellence for the American College of Cardiology since 2021. So it's what that means is it's excellent policies, processes, and outcomes. Outcomes is the biggest one. And then and we track all of our outcomes. Rob does a really good job at keeping over top of all those things. I'll let him talk about it. But anything that falls below the 50th percentile, we have to have a quality plan to fix that. So we are better than half the hospitals in all of the country in the majority of our metrics. And if we're not, we're fixing it. So that's really a big call to toot our own horn a little bit. And again, we will be doing so here in the coming months, but I talk a lot, so I'll let Rob talk now.
Yeah, tell us about your why. Why do you do what you do?
So I think it boils down to one word, which is service. I don't recall a time where I didn't want to be a doctor. So, I mean, and you ask anybody who's known me, my parents, my sister, any of my relatives, and Bobby always talked about wanting to be a doctor,
That's cool.
from day one. And, most people, they want to be a race car driver. They want to be a police officer or a fireman. I'm like, nope, this is what I want to be, and this is what I want to do.
That's awesome.
And, I made sure kind of early on, I knew, okay, it's going to be, I don't know how I realized it, but I realized that there's going to be a big commitment to being able to get to that point, and not only to get to that point, but be successful at it. So I worked really hard for a long time, and I had one career path that I had chosen initially, and then when I was a teenager in high school, my dad got sick, and that changed my focus as to where I was going, and that pointed me in the direction of cardiology.
That's awesome. I mean, not that your dad had an issue, but it's awesome that you had that drive the entire time, because so many folks, I mean, we try a bunch of different things before we get there, or so having that passion from such a young age is really cool. And your dad did have, a cardiac history, right? And that's what took you.
Well, he started having chest pains, and he was referred to a cardiologist. And my parents are both immigrants from Italy, so they knew the language. They have good street smarts. They're intelligent people, but medical knowledge they really didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of took it upon myself. I'd go to the appointments with them and have the cardiologist kind of tell all of us what was going on, and then I'd look all these big terms up and figure out exactly what was going on, so that I could distill it down for them and help them to understand.
Okay. Oh wow.
So you were learning before you were even learning.
Yeah. Actually, my dad's cardiologist was one of my first mentors when I was in college and in med school. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think we all probably have been that person for our family in the room,
Right.
but also having a language barrier or, any of those other issues, it's so crucial to have that family member
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thanks for joining us on Scrub In, a podcast on humans, heroes, and healthcare. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and follow us wherever you listen so you don't miss what's next.
Please leave us a review, tell a friend, and come scrubbing with us next time.